shown incredible abilities in invasive species management. My name is Sarah Rang. I'm the Executive Director of the Invasive Species Center, and I'm your MC for today's event. And just a big welcome to those of you who are just joining in. And we will proceed along. We'll do a land acknowledgement. We'll hear from our local MPP, and then we'll move into the 4 different award ceremonies as well. So it's our pleasure to host the award ceremony today. So the Invasive Species Center recognizes the long history of the First Nations, Inuit, and Métis Nation peoples on the lands now known as Canada, and strives to show respect to their ancestors, their communities, and to them individually, and to show gratitude for their care for and teachings about our Earth. In particular, the Invasive Species Center respectfully acknowledges that our head office is located on the traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, specifically the Garden River and Batchewana First Nations in the Robertson-Huron Treaty area, and acknowledge the longtime settlement of the Métis people in this region. So welcome to the 2022 Invasive Species Awards. We at the Invasive Species Center are so happy to celebrate with you all these tremendous individuals who have exhibited amazing values in terms of dedication and also sharing their knowledge. We'd like to start with welcoming a welcome address from Minister Ross Romano, who is the Ontario Minister of Government and Consumer Services. And he's also the local MPP for Sault Ste. Marie area, which is the home of the Invasive Species Center offices. Ross has been a great supporter of the Invasive Species Center, and we appreciate his ongoing assistance. So just a few welcome from Ross.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ross Romano, and I am your MPP for the City of Sault Ste. Marie, and I want to welcome you all to the 2022 Invasive Species Forum. It is my pleasure to be with you all today with this group of great people that are working together with an eye towards invasive species prevention and management across all of Canada, because protecting our habitat and the wildlife that is sustained by it from the threat of invasive species is some of the most important work there is. And this forum is a great opportunity for stakeholders across all of our country to discuss these issues and how we can resolve them. I look forward to a great conversation with you all today and to hearing more in the future. All the best, and as always, stay safe and have a great day, everyone.
Thanks, Ross, for those welcoming comments. We are celebrating 10 years together at the Invasive Species Center. So we are launching this awards, the first awards to recognize leadership and individuals and organizations who help protect Canada's land and water from invasive species. There's 4 award categories that we will be giving out today to recognize individuals and organizations who champion and demonstrate the values of excellence, innovation, and leadership. Thank you for coming and all the work that you do every day, seen and unseen, in terms of invasive species management. And also thank you to the folks who nominated these amazing individuals. The nominations were selected by an independent panel of judges. They assessed and scored each according to criteria for each category. The judges' scores were then aggregated and to produce a winner in each category. Just a word from the judges, they noted how amazing many of the nominations were and the individuals were, and the results were very close in many categories, and just a very small margin in many categories. And in fact, in one category, we have a tie for one of the awards. Each award winner will receive a beautiful award mounted on maple wood, and they'll be permanently commemorated on a recognition wall in the Invasive Species Center offices. The award winners will also be recognized on a new Walk of Fame page on the Invasive Species Center website as those who walk the walk on invasive species. A big special thank you to some of the board members who helped support this work: Jen Gilbert, Jason Pollard, Cam Mack, and Nicola Crawhall. And today we're happy to welcome our exceptional nominees and honor them. Without further ado, we'll move to the first award, which is the Young Professional Award. And the Young Professional Award will be presented to an individual between the ages of 19 and 40 who is practicing in the field of invasive species. They have demonstrated outstanding achievement early in their career to address invasive species. And the nominees are Fraser Smith of F. Smith Consulting, Tamara Brincat from Severn Sound Environmental Association, Tyler Harrow-Lyle from Ryerson University, and Vincent Gagné from Phyto Inc. And just a note on the winner of the Young Professional Award has recently completed a master's degree and already has 5 years of experience in invasive species management. Their master's project focused on a control strategy against Eurasian milfoil using tarping and manual techniques. The results, an impressive 98% reduction of Eurasian milfoil in an invaded lake. To share their knowledge and know-how, they collaborated on a practical guide to the management of Eurasian milfoil. And recently, they founded a consulting firm specializing in invasive species. In the nominating package, there was a quote from the researcher Claude Lavoie of the University of Laval, who said that the winner is the first researcher in the world to demonstrate with compelling and well-supported data that it is possible to control Eurasian milfoil on a lake scale with fiberglass tarps and targeted manual harvest. And the winner is
Hello, everyone. First, I would like to thank the Invasive Species Center for this award. I discovered the world of invasive species in my first year of undergraduate studies in natural and landscape environments at the Université Laval de Québec. And I completed the 2 internships as a project manager for the control of Eurasian water milfoil, where I was responsible for developing effective techniques for the control of Eurasian water milfoil and managing teams of volunteers, mapping the invasive species, writing follow-up report, collecting data, manage control activities, and ensure a link between the municipality and the Waterfront Association. It has become a passion for me to study, understand, and control invasive alien species, and especially Eurasian water milfoil. I continued my studies on water milfoil with a research that led to satisfying results. We successfully removed 98% milfoil biomass at a lake scale. These results were made possible by a strategic management plan of tarping and manual uprooting methods. Only 2 other lakes in North America have had such success with similar methods. Since milfoil is a very disturbing invasive aquatic plant in North America, I decided to start my own business specialized in the ecological management of invasive aquatic plants, which have been highlighted at the Business ID competition by Entrepreneuriat Laval. I also contributed to the writing of a guide on milfoil control techniques that will be published in April. This guide will allow for the transfer of knowledge on control techniques to improve the chances of success for organizations wishing to embark on such a campaign. I hope to be able to contribute for a long time to the protection of Canada's land and water. It is an honor for me to receive this award today. Thank you again.
Thank you very much, Vincent, and very great congratulations on your award for the Young Professional Award. Thank you. We'll move now to the second award, which is the Leadership Award, and we do have a tie in this category. The Leadership Award will be presented to an individual or an organization who champions and breaks new ground. They lead and transform invasive species in Canada with meaningful and long-lasting in their impact in their communities. And the nominees are David Hawk from the Couchiching Conservancy Land Trust, Hemlock Heroes of Sporting Lake, Medway Community Forest Co-op, Michelle Valla, Lanark County Public Works, Brenda Martin, Malcolm Ardoch Lakes and Landowners Association, Nancy Vidler, Lambton Shores Phragmites Community Group, the Manitoulin Phragmites Project, the Master Gardeners of Ontario Facebook group. And we have a tie in this area, so I'll tell you a little bit about our first and second winners, and then they'll both come on to say a few words. The winner of the Leadership Award is the Vice President and Stewardship Chair of a Lake Landowner Association in Eastern Ontario. Their invasive species work includes hosting education sessions, an aquatic invasive species identification poster, installing signs at a public boat launch, and also conducting a 3-year Eurasian water milfoil project. They continue to serve as a vital resource to other lake associations, both within and beyond their township. The winner has a reputation as a tireless volunteer with various community organizations to champion communities to help manage invasive species. Our second winner in this category has become a driving force behind Phragmites management and habitat restoration in the lakeside community of Port Franks. This volunteer association has undertaken several wetland enhancement projects, organized educational workshops, and engaged in outreach events. And using a watershed approach and following a management plan, their community group has a proven track record for facilitating and managing frag control in an effective, efficient, and environmentally responsible manner. The nominator noted that due to this winner's community group leadership, the difference between the areas of the shoreline then and now is literally astounding. Phragmites free in most places, and that this community group exemplifies what a volunteer can do on the ground in their home communities. And the winners are Brenda, if you'd like to come on and say a few words, and then Nancy.
I would be happy to. First, thanks to the Ontario Invasive Species Centre for the opportunity to be recognized for our efforts to monitor and manage invasive species in our lake area. Also, thank you to our Lake Association webmaster, Kathy, for the nomination and her contribution to MALA. MALA's projects would not have been possible without the resources provided by the Invasive Species Centre and the Federation of Ontario Cottagers Association. These two organizations are the leaders in the challenge to preserve our land and water from invasive species. Hopefully, levels of government will soon recognize your efforts. MALA has benefited from the information booklets you offer. These are included in our Welcome to the Lake packages. A specialist was sent from your council as a guest speaker at our first education session offered to the general public. We have received funding most recently for the Green Shovels project, which allowed our stewardship committee to tackle Phragmites on both lake shores. Webinars and Zoom sessions have been instrumental to keep us informed about invasive species in Ontario. As a retired principal and teacher, I value education as a tool to make a difference, and I endeavor to involve youth. Youth are represented in our stewardship committee. Avon was one of the key volunteers to conduct the new iSample program in 2021. In 2017, we were the first customer to employ the Above and Beyond Drone Deploy program, a secondary school course offered at the local school. It was the first such program offered in Canada. We were privileged to learn alongside the teacher and students. In 2019, with township funding, we hired summer students dedicated to collecting data for the identification and monitoring of Eurasian water milfoil and Phragmites on our lakes. In October, the team presented at the Eastern Ontario Lake Links Conference. In 2020 and in 2021, we recruited graduate students from Carleton University to partner in our 3-year pilot project to study Eurasian water milfoil. We do mini education sessions, even at Malice social events, where we have demonstrated proper handling, pulling techniques for removal of Eurasian water milfoil, shown the best tools for the removal of Phragmites, had poster board displays of volunteers at work for the Green Shovels project. One of my favorite ways to educate has been the use of calendars with local photos on the topic and a monthly message which stares at the reader consistently for at least 30 days. It was used as a lake plan implementation strategy. For example, September shows a photo of the natural shoreline, encouraging our members to plant native trees and shrubs to prevent erosion. The wildflower calendar was a follow-up to a guided tour of our 2 lakes to examine and learn about native and non-native plants. As Vice President and Stewardship Chair, I've been in a position to coordinate many projects affecting our lakes. You cannot have success without hardworking volunteers alongside you. Our projects are a team effort. Together, everyone achieves more, and that is what the province needs to successfully fight back against invasive species.
Thank you very much, Brenda. Congratulations. It's a pleasure to award you the Leadership Award. I'd like to invite the second award winner to come on to Nancy to share her screen and come on and say a few words. Welcome, Nancy. Yeah.
Thank you. I thank you so much, the Invasive Species Center, for this award.
Nancy, I think you've gone on to mute. Yeah, so you started okay, but now you're on mute. Yeah. Okay, that looks good again.
All
yeah.
Right. Sorry. Thank
No
you very
problem.
much. I'll get another thank you in there. Thank you very much, the Invasive Species Center, for this award and for recognizing me as a leader in Phragmites management. I am looking forward to being able to share this with our committee members. The 9 people who make up the Lambton Shores Phragmites community group have been with me since the beginning, about 11 years ago. And their dedication and their passion and the skill sets that they bring to this is just amazing. I also would like to recognize how important it is, or recognize our partners. To be successful, we've needed partners, and the connections that we have made across our municipality have just been amazing. And also, I want to give thanks to our funding partners as well, to the province and the federal government, and to the different organizations, community associations that have assisted us over the years. We started out in Port Franks, and that when we looked around at the watershed, we quickly realized that we had a serious problem with the spread vectors that were throughout the village and in our community and up the watershed. And so we were the first municipality to take a watershed approach in dealing with Phragmites. And I believe that we were the first municipality to also have an official management plan, which has been amazing. And we're actually in the process of updating it. It was adopted by council in 2014. So I also want to say how rewarding it is. When I first started out 11 years ago in this, I ended up traveling across most of the province and talking about the success story of Port Franks and Lambton Shores, and shared what we were doing. And often when I would go into a hall, and there'd be people who didn't know what Phragmites was. And it is so rewarding now to have all of these wonderful and amazing groups across the province who are doing the work, and it's just very rewarding to see that happening. So thank you very much. I appreciate this, and as I said, I'll be sharing it with my with our committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy, for all your hard work. It's greatly appreciated. And Brenda, thank you as well. It's a joy to present you with the Leadership Award. We'll move on now to our third award, which is called the Innovation Award. And the Innovation Award is presented to an individual or an organization who moved a creative idea to a practical reality. They transformed or improved invasive species prevention and management with substantive and enduring outcomes through the skillful application of novel and useful ideas. And the nominees are the Lab of Dr. Ryan Brook, University of Saskatchewan, Vincent Gagné, Phyto Inc., Kyle Borman, Ducks Unlimited Canada, Nancy Vidler, Lambton Shores Phragmites Community Group, Jim McCready, Forest Health Network, Eastern Ontario Model Forest, and Janice Gilbert, Invasive Phragmites Control Center. I'd like to tell you a little bit about the winner and then invite them to come and share a few words with you. The winner is a wetland ecologist with a PhD from Ohio State University and over 25 years of experience in wetlands. They began investigating Phragmites impacts on wetland in 2007. And since that time, they've been a lead author on over 150 reports and presentations. They're the founder and co-chair of the Ontario Phragmites Working Group and an advisor on 2 binational programs, the Great Lakes Frag Collaborative and the Phragmites Adaptive Management Framework. The winner is currently the executive director of the Invasive Phragmites Control Center, a not-for-profit entity that they founded to provide management for Phragmites. And the nominator noted that the winner's innovation, passion, and commitment to frag management in Ontario is unwavering, and that if Ontario ever wins the battle against Phragmites, it will be because of the winner of this award. And the winner is I'd like to invite Janice to come on screen and share a few words with you.
Thank you so much, Sarah, and thank you so much, the Invasive Species Center, for this very humbling award. I'm just really surprised and taken aback. Thank you to the nominee or nominees who are as well for this award and the other awards, and to all the other winners. It's quite an honor. And thank you also to the person or persons that nominated me. I don't know who you are, but it was very kind of you. I want to say that it has been quite a journey. And, you know, one of the winners, Nancy Vidler, she mentioned going on a talk circuit around the province. We often did that together. And I'm just so delighted, Nancy, you've also received an award for your efforts. I'd like to say, like, the innovation piece, I mean, these ideas come, but it's really a team effort. Way back when I first started doing wetland assessment work in Rondo Bay is when I came across Phragmites and the threat. And that's what really started this journey for me. And I was just so thankful for my managers at that time. They gave me the freedom to explore how various methods to control Phragmites, and the one was the cutting to drown method. And so I'm very appreciative to the late Phil Ryan and Brian Locke and Kurt Oldenburg, who were my managers through those years. But you know, the ideas to bring them to fruition, it takes a lot of support to get them off the ground. And I'm very blessed to have a lot of people in my life supporting me, my family, my late husband, and just a lot of really great colleagues to work with. And Nancy mentioned the number of people now that are out doing the Phragmites work. I am just, again, truly blessed to be able to work with so many of you and them. They're just a tremendously passionate people, and it just gives me a lot of hope that there will be one day of, I guess the goal is 2033 of be frag free. I'd also like to thank my great team. You know, again, it's one thing to have these ideas, but to bring them to fruition, particularly the Cutting to Drown, I needed a really good support group there for partners, and I have amazing partners through Bruce Power, Greenstream, Steve Ford, and also the Lambton Shores Phragmites Community Group, Nancy Vidler and Bill McDonald, and all of the other great folks that are part of that group. And then so that helped me get the equipment and then test it out, particularly the truckster work and trial and tribulation and fine tune our methods and go out and go help other people. But you know, to actually get the work done, it takes a big crew, and I have an amazing crew support group working with me right now, and I'm so truly grateful to them and also to all of the people that are doing the hard slugging out there. So thank you so much for this honor. It really actually means quite a bit to me, and I'm very, very honored to have it. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, Janice, and congratulations. It's a pleasure to award the Innovation Award to you, Janice, to reflect all your many hard years of work and innovation in the tools and techniques that you've used. So congratulations. We'll move now to our fourth award, which is our last award, the Career Achievement Award. So the Career Achievement Award will be presented to an individual or an organization who has consistently demonstrated high value and high quality results over a period of 20 years or more. They've made significant and sustained contributions to invasive species prevention and management in Canada through outstanding and long-lasting achievement. And the nominees are Dan McKenney, Natural Resources Canada, Canadian Forest Service; Janice Gilbert, Invasive Phragmites Control Centre; Jim McCready, Forest Health Network, Eastern Ontario Model Forest; and Tom Borg, Red Rock Indian Band. I'll tell you a little bit about the winner of the Career Achievement Award. They're a senior scientist and director of integrative ecology and economics at the Great Lakes Forestry Centre, Canadian Forest Service. Their research interests include climate change, behavioral economics, cost-benefit analysis. They have a PhD in forest economics and policy and an adjunct at University of Toronto, Guelph, and Waterloo. Over the course of their career, they've also worked for the Ontario Ministry of Natural Resources and the Australian Centre for International Agricultural Research. With the winners team and collaborators, they have contributed pest risk assessments and examinations of the economics of many forest invasives, including Asian longhorn beetle, oak wilt, and emerald ash borer. As the nominator noted in their submission, beyond the significant science contributions, one of the winner's strengths is making connections with other researchers and managers in the invasive species field, as evidenced by the many collaborators he has worked with over the years. And the winner is I'd like to invite Dan to say a few words. Go ahead, Dan. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. It's quite an honor. And I actually have to say, the first time I heard I was nominated, I thought it was an early April Fool's joke. It would not be unheard of with some of my friends and colleagues. I don't feel that old. I feel like just kind of got started. But more seriously, this award should be going to my team and collaborators. I'm a generalist. I've ridden their coattails all my career. I can't name them all, but I would be very remiss not to mention my immediate team. That includes John Pedler, Heather McDonald, Emily Hope, Dennis Yemshinoff, who you heard earlier today, Caitlin DeBrewer, and Kevin Lawrence. We've collectively developed models that look at ecological and economic aspects and the impacts of invasives, and we've even done some work on how people think about them. I remember a paper I did with Heather some 20 odd years ago called "A Bug is a Bug is a Bug" that I still think is pretty germane with respect to how people think. So remarkably, we haven't solved everything. There still remains much to be done, as you've seen today. To me, the intersection of the social, behavioral, and biophysical sciences is not just where we can figure out all the problems, but where we can find solutions and hopefully inspire civil society to undertake the necessary social change. So thanks again for this honor to the Invasive Species Center, and look forward to lots more collaboration with you and others. Thank you.
Okay, big thank you to all of the award winners today, and a big thank you also, congratulations. I also want to thank the awards planning team. There's a large team that made this happen, and an amazing job. Thank you all. The Invasive Species Center for their support. Those of you who attended today, many thanks for paying tribute to your colleagues and all their amazing achievements. Wanted to just let you know that there's a few more things coming up. There is, invite you to think about applying for the 2022 micro grants that are currently open for application. The applications are due on Friday. It's a chance to get some support for a local project. Don't forget about Invasive Species Awareness Week right around the corner, February 28th to the March the 4th. It's a chance for all of us to get involved and share the knowledge and ideas on invasive species. If you need any toolkits, please just see our website. And coming up in April is the International Conference of Aquatic Invasive Species, which is a hybrid event. You can attend from your living room, or you please join in person in Oostend, Belgium as well. So those are some events. Don't hesitate to sign up for our newsletter at the Invasive Species Center, and we'll keep inviting you to all these events. So that ends day one of the Invasive Species Forum. Many thanks for joining with us and sharing your knowledge and your expertise. I hope it's been a good day for you, and we're looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, day two. We started about 8:30 with a couple of just amazing sessions. So I hope you'll continue to join with us for tomorrow, day two of the Invasive Species Forum. Many thanks, and that concludes our award ceremony today. I'm just wondering if the award winners might join us on screen, and we'll take a screenshot with everybody on, if you would be so kind.
I wouldn't forget on first.
Okay. Thanks all.
Congratulations, Brenda. It's nice to see you in person.
Yeah.
Oh, you're on mute. Sorry, you're on mute, Brenda.
Don't worry.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, thanks all. We just had to